So we're going to walk through some basic PvP here, assuming my counterpart here doesn't return from being AFK and attack me prematurely. I want to go through some dynamics. So initially I scouted his troops, and you look through the scouting report, there's a couple things to look at, which fighters he's using. So he's got all T4 pilots also down here, but it's matched with a Conqueror fighter, and you can see where their skills at. These are 3s, and then she's a pilot, but she's a deputy pilot. So, and then he's got his mech at 56 there. Anyway, so I sent out generally matching troops, and I don't think, I can't look at them right now. So what we're going to do is we're just going to attack, and we'll read the report afterwards, and you can see. So he was asking here for people to PvP him, and that's typically how you do it in King Chat, whether you're doing an SVS or in BP like we are now. In different times in the game, we are able to do that with each other. And so we're actually 171. I think he got that wrong. Just turned to daylight there. And so I told him I'd match his troops, so I scouted him, sent him a picture, asked him if he's ready. Said I was going to make screen recording of this, so I did that. So let's go. Now I've got, for my setup, as you can just see externally, I've got Dave, which is a legendary fighter, and also Derek, which is a legendary fighter. Derek had just got up to 59, and actually the stats on matching them up show that he was actually a better pair than what I've been using, which was Maverick. But Maverick is a rare fighter, one of the purple ones, and his stats just finally got surpassed, plus all the equipment I have on Dave, which I can go to in a minute and show you that as well. And I will show you a massive deal with the equipment and placing that correctly and mixing that. That'll be other videos, but it makes a big deal on his stats as well as the buffs. And so as you can see here, mine are pretty massively overpowering him at about the same, about 250,000 T4 pilots, but with the additional buffs that I have on mine and the ways that I've focused their skills. And we're going to take a look in here real quick so you can see actually Dave right here. So the equipment he has on, he has a bunch of legendary equipment as well. Go through the details there, you can pause if you want. And then his skills aren't super high up there, and again, since he's got a 3 in there, the lowest one, then his skill down here, his talent, is going to be a 3 as well, 25%. So he's almost done. So troops are going to be sent back here, and we'll be able to read the attack report once it is finished. Okay, and then also, when we return home, we're going to see how many troops. We lost 14,000 troops. Now here's a trick. I'm going to bury it in this video. I'm going to make a separate thing of it. But here's a big trick for doing this in a way that is far more efficient, so you don't have to use a bunch of speed ups. It takes a little time, it's a little tedious. You go for about an hour at a time. I think I was doing 2 hours. This works too. Okay, and heal, and hit the help button. Now just from the help button down here, from your gang, when that pops up, that's going to make these heal, I think, as quickly as 5 to 8 minutes, or 5 to 10 minutes, give or take. Oh, much faster. So if you can do this in rounds, we have a lot of people on right now, so it's getting a lot of help. But if you go too long, it only does so much. And so that's the way to do this. And I'll even go, let's try 3 hours. They're all going to have a different way that they hit. So I'm letting those heal, and I'm healing them that way. I think that was it. And so we're going to reports, going to the attack here, and so nobody lost troops, as we shouldn't. 1v1s, most time you shouldn't lose troops. You should never have out. Sometimes if you put out like 3 marches or all your troops, and if they all died at once, it overfills your hospital capacity, and that's what we can look at right here actually. Find out the numbers. See, that filled up real fast too, so yeah, that's great. So here's capacity down here. So I'm at 600,000. We were in a battle of this war 3 days ago, and I was online and in VCs for the better part of 18 hours as we were establishing a ceasefire line and different dynamics there, and so it's very very intense at times. Alright, so you can see there's a couple things to look at here. So obviously it's defeated troops as long as you don't overfill your hospital capacity. That's why when you see people, that's why it's also important to upgrade those over time, especially before you get to Banana Plano when that opens up. And then you can see what actually went to the hospital, right at about 14,000. You got that go to the hospital, and you can also see the details here of troops, how many total defeated units, all this. But the actual details, there we go, at 258,000 pilots. And then you can see power loss taken, 83,000 power while those troops are being healed, and that'll bump back up. And you can see that for the opponent as well. See what their troops were and their setup. So you can dive into that and see what each player had, and that's just that part. There's also details of the battle here. And you can see the different buffs. See, look, attack of hitters versus, and it shows you compared to them whose buffs are better. And so you can see breakdowns of those as well, where they come from, research or equipment, and those dynamics too. So there's a lot of good ways to dissect these reports. And if you find things or interesting nuances or whatever, feel free to point them out in the comments and share. And as we are all learning and growing with this game together, because there isn't a tremendous amount of content at the time of making this, so here's another breakdown here, so you can see all their skills, and it even gives you the details, so you can see what their buffs were. And his are all conqueror buffs. You know, they're not things. I mean, there's general damage, but a lot of them against territory buildings, and those were his lead fighters. So probably should have been tiny, and that they would have lasted longer and probably stood a better chance, because hers are for, let's see, increased pilots under this fighter gaze, 25% increased attack. It's a big deal. And so, and I wonder, that's a question, maybe you guys can answer this too. As a secondary fighter, does this not apply? It should apply, I would think. So part of it could be his, I don't know where that is listed off the top of my head. Okay, so there's some basic 1v1 PvP. Just had someone request that in the comments, so I'm glad I was able to make this today. If you have additional questions, please do ask, and many more videos in the future to come. And give you guys a quick glance, this is Banana Planet right now. And so we got 6 servers, porting into 6 locations based on the preparation events. You get choose landing spot basically, you get a swap with the lower 3 people, and then it's a race for the launch pad. Alright, catch you next time.